everybody. Today I'm going to be doing a full microneedling demo on my face, neck, and chest, but I'm going to be using a roller. And the reason why I'm doing this is because normally every 4 to 6 weeks I do a full microneedling treatment on the face using a Dr. Pen M8. That is my preferred device that I love to use. But today I'm going to be using a roller. And the reason is because I don't want quite as intense of a treatment because I'm going to South Korea and getting a lot of stuff done over there. And so when you do a microneedling treatment with a professional pen, you have to make sure that you're looking at your calendar. If you're going to be doing anything else to your skin, you need to give it at least 4 to 6 weeks rest in between. So we are right now at 4 weeks. I've got a Botox bruise right there in case you're wondering. But we're right now at 4 weeks out since the last time I did this intense treatment with my whole face. So if you missed that live show, you can always get the microneedling protocol for free on liveyounglifestyle.com. You can always comment microneedling on any post and it will get you this in your inbox. Okay, so I started with a clean. I've got like my little alcohol wipes and all of my alcohol stuff here. I'm gonna wipe down my face, which I've already done once, but I'm gonna do it one more time. For craft's sake, thank you so much for asking. I feel actually pretty good. I mean, if you missed the live show yesterday, I talked about a uteral ablation that I had because I was starting my menstrual cycle again at the age of 58. It was actually a thickening of the uteral lining based on hormone replacement therapy, and so they burned out the uteral lining. So I'm feeling a little crampy, a little but it's not as painful as I thought. Like I thought it was going to be like post-pregnancy kind of painful. And actually, this is when you know you've done the right thing. It feels better in terms of the pressure on in my abdomen after having done this. So that makes me think like, okay, I'm not taking that progesterone anymore. I really feel like, okay, this could be the thing that it is. Okay, I'm using a 0.5 roller, sprayed it down with alcohol several times, but I'm going to do that again. Just dry it off. And the reason why I'm doing this, I'm going to show you how to do your whole face with a roller. The reason is because it's a great treatment in between professional microneedling pens like this. So if you feel like, okay, you've gotten to the 4 weeks and you haven't been able to like do this again right away, you can do a roller like this. So I'm going to show you how to do this. We're going to start at the top and you're going to roll and pick it up each time. 3, 4, 5. It's still going to get, look, you're still going to get a really good treatment with this, but it's not going to be quite as intense as the Dr. Pen M8S. 3, 4. I'm picking this up each time. Woo, it's going to start, my eyes are going to start to water. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, this is not similar to nano needling. Nano needling, those needles are really close together, so you're basically just pressing product in. It's not puncturing the skin. This is microneedling, so you're still having those needles, but they're set at a 0.5 millimeter depth. Now, when I do a swirling technique with the Dr. Pen M8S on my face, I am using mostly a 0.5, so it's giving you the same depth, but it's not giving you the same in number of perforations, if that makes sense. So I just did horizontally on this area, and now I'm going to take that same area and go vertically. Whew. You can go right over your eyebrows. So this is what I would do as an in-between mini microneedling session. Right, so when I get to those 4 weeks where I've done my face and it's been 4 weeks since that time, and I'm not ready to do another big treatment because of whatever reason, I've got like an event coming up or whatever, and I need to postpone a little bit, this is exactly what I do. On that 4 week mark, I'll give myself a little mini microneedling session at home. 5, 1, 2. I don't know why 5 is the magic number, but it is. You can do more than that if you wanted to, but it's just a good number to stop at. I gotta let my eyes do their thing. They're gonna water. Okay. And then, so we just did this all horizontally, right? And now we're doing it all vertically. So you can then do diagonal. So that we're going to cover it in 4 different directions. Hi, Christine. We're going to cover it in 4 different directions. So we just did horizontally, vertically, and now we're going to do diagonally on both angles. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And get right in there on those eyebrows too. I don't know why. Sometimes the roller makes my eyes water more than the actual pen. I don't know why that is. Woo. Okay. I'm not going to be posting this to my main feed afterwards, everybody. You can go on yesterday's or any of the other microneedling videos there that you'll see on my feed. Just comment the word microneedling and you'll get that in your DM. It doesn't have to be necessarily on this. No, when you're doing a roller, you don't need to use a hyaluronic acid. Why? Because you're not creating a slip, right? The device is just moving over the skin and you're not having to glide it like you do with a pen. So you don't, like I've tried to say this in so many different ways. And I have different products here that I want to show you that I'm going to put on afterwards too, that I don't normally put on afterwards when I do a more intensive pen. So we are going to do some peptides afterwards, some multi-peptide. This one is by Allies of Skin. This is a multi-peptide and growth factor serum. And then we're going to do the pink PDRN as well. These are not medical grade. This is cosmetic grade. It still has a fragrance. Do not microneedle these into your skin. There's lots of different stuff in here. It's not as if it is a sterile medical grade PDRN. It's not. It's cosmetic grade. So it's okay to apply afterwards because your skin will seal up quite quickly. We tend to think when we poke holes in our skin that it's going to stay open and that's where the products go in. But your skin barrier is so advanced. It's almost like Jell-O. When you stick a knife into like Jell-O, you know how that closes up? Your skin closes up as well. It doesn't leave these perforations in your skin for long for product to get in. When you're doing it professionally in clinic and you're using, this isn't it, the one that they're using in clinic in South Korea is Rejurin, and that is a sterile medical grade PDRN. This is not sterile medical grade PDRN. Kayla says, do you get filler? I have no filler in my face. I do not get filler. I do not believe in filler. I like collagen generators like Sculptra, but typical fillers, hyaluronic acid fillers, they do not make your face look natural. And then you get these big faces going on, right? People are always trying to chase the cheekbones or chase putting stuff in so you don't have the jowls. And I've never seen somebody who gets a lot of filler look natural. So I have no filler in my face. I do fat transfer instead. It's a lot more complicated, a lot more costly, but it just is your own body that's going in there. Okay, so I did diagonally. I'm going to go diagonally on this side. And I can answer any questions. So any questions you guys have about, not only about rolling, but about the typical microneedling device that I'm using at home as well. You'll see people often say like, and on the comments, why don't you wear gloves? They're my hands on my skin. I'm not working on somebody else. And a glove on your hand does not protect yourself from bacteria or from infection if you're using that glove and picking up other things that are not disinfected. It's just on your glove. So a glove protects the practitioner from any sort of germs from the person they're doing the treatment on, as well as it protects the person who's getting the treatment from any germs that could be potentially on that technician's hands. Thanks, baby. Just got a mushroom coffee from my husband. Let me close this door real quick. Love you, babe. So you see this a lot. Now watch, you'll see me again. I'll come over here, I'll spray my hands with alcohol. Why? Because I just touched the doorknob. It's like second nature to me. But if I were to do that with gloves on, I have to spray the gloves down or take the gloves off and redo them. So my hands are sterile. I use antibacterial soap to spray them. To wash them. I always have alcohol on me. I have another, this is the Magic Molecule. This is an antimicrobial skin spray, which I just wiped down my skin with. So safety first, right? And especially if you're going to be doing things like going rogue and putting stuff into your skin, microneedling it into the skin while you are microneedling, that is a disaster waiting to happen, because they're not meant, cosmetic PDRNs or cosmetic peptides are not meant to be microneedled directly into your skin. Wait for a beat, put them on over the top. That's a much safer way. But anything that has fragrance, a little bit of fragrance, potentially could cause a lot of irritation, and that's what you do not want. So when you're microneedling with a professional pen like this using a hyaluronic acid, the goal is not to push the hyaluronic acid into the skin. That's not what's doing the heavy lifting. What's doing the heavy lifting is the microtraumas caused by those needles going in. The hyaluronic acid is just a safe slip because there's no scent. It's in a pump. It's not like it's a medical grade sterile, but hyaluronic acid occurs naturally in your skin. And as long as you're getting something that is pure hyaluronic acid, it is safe to microneedle that and use that as a slip. But the goal is not to try to sink this in deeper. It's just to use this to glide it over. So when you're doing even a roller, you're not gliding. You don't need a slip. You don't need the hyaluronic acid. Do it on dry skin. And then afterwards, you put on those serums that you want to put on. It's safer to do that when you're doing a roller because your treatment is not going to be as ablative, right? You're not destroying that skin barrier as much as when you're doing it with a microneedling pen. So when I'm using a roller, I oftentimes will put on skincare over the top, not to try to get it to sink in anymore, but because you do have some open sections, so you will get a little bit more penetration, but not as if you're microneedling it in at a 0.5, if that makes sense. Okay, let me just get back to this. Christine said, it's too complicated with gloves for me. The same. It's like, I see this all the time, and people comment all the time, you're not using sterile gloves. I'm like, I guarantee you my situation is more sterile than you can find in an office. Like, it's incredible. And so I feel the same way. The gloves are just a hindrance. And then when I was using gloves, I'm having to, like, when I pick something up, anything, spray down the glove again. Right? So it didn't make sense for me to do that. So that's not the way that I coach it. Okay. Do you always put the silicone mask on after? How long do you wear it for? I just did my face and wearing one. I love that. I have my silicone mask in the other room. I like to use that silicone mask. They're so cheap. Just go on Amazon, you guys. There's just a silicone mask. And what it does is it helps with that, when you put on skincare or anything like that, there's a lot that you lose in it evaporating, right? And it drying up. And so you lose a lot of that. That silicone mask keeps it all there. So even like 30 minutes after you take a silicone mask on, your skin will still feel like a little tacky. That's because it hasn't been able to evaporate. So you're getting more product into the skin. And I love it post microneedling, especially if you're using a hyaluronic acid, because a hyaluronic acid will tend to get crusty and dry out. So you continue to spray with a thermal water like this. And then putting on that mask after you put on the Aquaphor allows everything to just kind of soak in there and sit. And it really is a great environment for healing. So I like that silicone mask. I tend to leave it on for like an hour after post microneedling just to make sure everything is in there. I should have grabbed it from the other room. When I get done here and I put all this stuff on, you better believe that silicone mask is going on over the top of it. Okay, let's scroll down a little bit. Do you have Botox in your forehead? I just got Botox. This is a Botox bruise. I don't set my alarm for Botox like a lot of people do. I wait for my muscles to go back. I wait for there to be a ton of movement. And so I did a story right when I was getting Botox I hadn't had Botox since November. So November, December, January, February, March. We're now almost into April. It was early November. So I'd gone a good 5, almost 6 months without Botox while I was coaching the Live Young Method course, because I wanted to show people the effects of Botox. And the effects of Botox, you see a lot more in terms of static wrinkles when that Botox has worn off. So I showed people, I still have movement, I still did all of that stuff, but when I relaxed my face, I didn't have the etching, the permanent etching caused from dynamic muscles moving all the time. When you freeze those muscles with Botox, then it's like those static wrinkles, the dynamic wrinkles soften, when you make those expressions, and those static wrinkles, the etching, permanent etching in the skin from dynamic movement over time are not there. So even when my Botox wears off at 58 years old, I don't have static, the 11s, those etched permanent markings there, because every so often I go in and get Botox and relax those. So it's a preventative way to prevent those permanent etchings in the skin. Hope that makes sense. So yeah, I do get Botox. Forehead, crow's feet, bunny lines, and neck. Most of my Botox goes in my neck. Hold on. Because they can do Botox along the jawline that then lifts this up. So Botox can actually give you a more defined neck if it's done right, like you do a Nefertiti lift here. Thank you for sharing so much. I've microneedled over 2 years. It healed so much since my skin has had acne. It's great for acne. Microneedling is not only great for active acne, but for acne scarring, all of that stuff. I think I didn't go this direction, so I'm going to do this direction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Watching from the UK, Sarah, I love that. Woo, hold on. So now on this forehead part, I have done all the different directions. I feel like I want to get in there a little bit more on the hairline. And then I'm going to, section by section, I'm going to add the stuff over the top that I want to add. Okay, so I'm not going to wait and do the whole thing, because I want to get this kind of, I want to go over my eyebrows too. Ooh, it's gonna make my eyes water. Jockarola says, I used Lubriderm 4 weeks ago. You mentioned it would be okay, and I can now personally attest and see why you said okay. I think there's a typo. Since bought Aquaphor and look forward to trying it. Yeah, I think I understood what you said, and I can now personally attest and see why you said okay. Okay, I used it, SkinCeutical product afterwards, but too expensive. Yeah, you guys, skincare doesn't need to cost a fortune. South Korea has come up with so many amazing products that are super affordable. Okay, I'm gonna do a little bit more here, and then I'm gonna put, okay, so I'm gonna show you what is gonna go on first. I'm gonna put on, this is, now you know what, I'm not gonna put the one skin on. I'm gonna put on this PDRN. This is by Medicube. I'm gonna put a little bit of that on. And this is a little bit soothing too, so it will kind of help calm the area down. Just putting a little bit of that on. I have always have like a little cotton thing that is soaked in alcohol, so that whenever you touch something, you can just come back and like put your little fingertips on this. Okay, we're moving on to the next area. I might as well go over this bruise here. You meant Lubriderm was not ideal. Okay, good. Okay, that makes more sense, Rockarola. I'm like, what? When did I ever say Lubriderm was good? Like, yeah. So now you understand why, right? Like, you don't want to push anything into your face that is not medical grade and sterile. And that is why when you go to an in-office microneedling, you're more likely to have them push a salmon PDRN in there, or push in other peptides, or push in whatever it is, whether it's like platelet-rich plasma, PRP. They're more likely to push stuff in because the products that they're using are sterile. That's why you don't want to do this at home. You don't want to push this in. Applying it afterwards, way safer, way safer. No, we don't have the products linked, but in the yeah, we do. Sorry. If you were to comment, not now, but on any post that's on my feed, I might as well just post this to my main feed. I don't know if I'm going to post it to my main feed or not, but on any post, you can comment the word skincare, check your DM. You'll get my ultimate skincare routine. I'll show you kind of, let me see if I have it. Now I'm going to have to sterilize my hands. Yeah. In this ultimate skincare routine, this is free, by the way, on liveyounglifestyle.com, but you can also get to this by commenting the word skincare on any post. In this ultimate skincare routine, all clickable links, by the way, starts with the 3 phases, wash, treat, protect, all of that stuff. Everything that I'm using is in here. Talks about niacinamide, talks about eye creams, sunscreens, PM cleanse, retinols, best overall retinols, but the section that's not in the one that I just printed out is the Ultimate Skincare Routine 2026 edition, which is the one that will go to your DMs when you comment the word skincare. That has this whole section on peptides and how you layer peptides for an ultimate skincare routine in the morning and an ultimate skincare routine in the evening, which, by the way, next Saturday and Sunday, we're going to be going over that. Saturday, I'm doing the ultimate skincare routine for morning. Sunday, I'm doing the ultimate skincare routine for evening. And that incorporates all of those basic actives, vitamin C in the morning, sunscreen, blah, blah, blah. But it also incorporates peptides, which peptides will be neutralized by other different things. Don't comment the word skincare here unless somebody can tell me, when you comment that, does it end up in your DM? Because I don't think it works that way when you comment here. It's got to be like on a regular post, and then you'll get that auto response for the skincare. Does that make sense? Christine, great. Yeah, in the feed afterwards. Murph says, what if I mix hyaluronic acid powder with distilled water in a sterile container? Do you think it can be used instead of the Baja? I would imagine yes. Because again, a hyaluronic acid occurs naturally in your skin. Very difficult to get a bad reaction from a pure hyaluronic acid if it's sterile, or this is not a medical grade product, but because it's pure hyaluronic acid, it's in a pump, it's not getting opened all the time. And because it occurs naturally in the skin, there's no fragrance or any other crazy thing that they put in here. That is safe to microneedle into the skin as you're using it as a glide. The goal, like I said earlier, is not to get this into the skin. It is only for a glide, but it is a very safe glide because hyaluronic acid doesn't have those kind of active ingredients or things that could make your skin more inflamed or sensitive or whatever, or have a reaction. So 1, 2, 3. I'm just gonna keep going, guys. RF is no longer on my daily skincare routine. It is not, especially since I had the fat transferred to the face. When I was using RF twice a week, sometimes 3 times a week, I started looking like Skeletor. So I don't care what people tell you, RF has a potential to melt fat. It doesn't melt fat. It damages a very fine, fragile membrane of fat. And once that happens, 4 to 6 weeks later, that skin cell will die and the fat will go out into your bloodstream. It doesn't happen to everybody. Thicker skin, more olive toned skin, darker skin, you have a lot less chance of melting fat. Thin skinned white women, our fat is fragile in our skin. And so when you're adding any sort of heat, you always run that potential of damaging a fat cell. And for me, I need all the fat in my face that I can get. So it's not that I don't use RF. RF, if you look at my new calendar, the revised skincare calendar, and you can get to that, not by commenting here, but on any post, comment the word protocol. The easiest way to get it, you guys, is just go to liveyounglifestyle.com, click on protocols. You'll see all the free protocols there. You can also click on the link in my bio, and it will literally say free protocols on the second link. So you can get to it there as well. Okay, a few days ago, Leah says, a few days ago, I purchased red light therapy mask after I saw your videos, and I already see results. The real results from a red light therapy mask, I hope you purchased mine, because it's under $200, medical grade, just got cleared for medical grade in Canada, and it's FDA cleared. I hope you bought mine. But that said, the real results from red light therapy are going to be in 30 days. Like, yeah, you will start seeing things right away, but the life of a skin cell is 30 days. So you start using this, it's in 30 days that it's like, wow. What's my age? I'll be 58 April 10th, and I'll be in South Korea during my birthday. I'm very excited about it. So that's why I'm doing this little kind of mini microneedling session here, because in 10 days, less than 10 days, I'm going to be in South Korea, probably doing chemical peels and different stuff. What you don't want to do is a full microneedling treatment and then 10 days later be in South Korea and they're like, you can't do anything because you had microneedling 10 days ago. So we're doing a little mini treatment here. Marissa said, I just got my pin I ordered from your website last weekend. Amazing. I can't wait to microneedle with you. Feg says, getting slightly jolly, so bought Lumo once a week. Okay, yeah, my new calendar, that's what I was going to say. Went off on a tangent. My new calendar, which I don't have here, but my new skincare calendar, which shows you how to incorporate all of the at-home gadgets. Microcurrent, microneedling, red light therapy, dry brushing, chemical peels. I do it all at home. So how do you do that in a strategic way to boost collagen in a wave of collagen production, much like we had when we were younger, but without exhausting the skin? And you can exhaust the skin. You can do too much things to your skin to where your collagen is just like, what the fuck? I give up. It's kind of true, but it happens. I equate it to like over curling your hair, where all of a sudden your hair is just like, nope, not doing it. Your skin can be the same way. How do you feel about the Medicube device? The little microcurrent device? I use it all the time. But I use it in such a way that I'm soaking my skincare in. I'm not using it as a microcurrent device because it's really doesn't really take the place of a microcurrent device. So I'm still doing my microcurrent 2 or 3 times a week, but that little booster thing that they have, I love that. In between my peptides and my retinoids, I'm going to go over it next weekend. I promise. So next weekend on Saturday will be the morning skincare routine, and you'll see how I use that. And on Sunday will be the evening skincare routine. And that's when I really use it. I'll get all those peptides really soaked in before I put on a retinoid. Warren, I'm glad you're helping women our age. This is my age. You guys are my cohort, right? We all warmed up and reheated Tupperware in the microwave. Like, we've been through some shit. Copper tone tans and reflecting beds. And, there's a lot of stuff to like fix that we've done damage to our skin in our youth because we were stupid and didn't know any better and nobody was telling us. So I'm here to tell you, start early, get your ass out of the sun. That's the main thing. Okay. Do you have in-office procedures you do regularly or one-time procedures you like? Regularly, I do Botox, but not as regularly as you would think, because I do like the movement to come back into my face. I don't want my muscles to atrophy, but I would say 3 times, maybe a year, I'll do Botox. Once a year on my birthday, I will pick some in-office treatment that I want to do. I don't know what that's going to be. I'm going to get to South Korea first and see what I think and have them analyze my skin and see what they think. That I'm not going to do any heat-based on my skin. And I know ZERF is like a huge thing right now in South Korea. It's radio frequency. It works well on Asian skin because Asian skin is thicker. I'm not a candidate for that. And when I see, and I've seen it all the time, and I comment on every post that I see when I see people doing ZERF here in the States and not warning people about a potential for fat loss and not warning people that you need to see if you're a candidate for it yet before you actually pay the money and go get a treatment done. You have to be analyzed to see, are you a candidate for that treatment? And so any post that I see a US doctor doing this, I'll say, are you warning people about fat loss? I know it's not the intention, But the Zerf, the way that they've designed it, is one of those levels of one of those radio frequency levels is the same level they use for sculpture, which is directly associated with fat loss. So you got to like be smart about it, right? Kay Backman says, Korea doc going to say, lady, you're perfect. We don't think you should do anything. You're so cute, Kimberly. I think Kimberly's coming to South Korea with me. But no, where there's always stuff to do. I might do Zerf on my entire thigh. People forget about their bodies, right? You go and you're looking at like, what can I do with my face? I go and I'm like, I want to do Zerf on the back of my arms. I want to do a chemical peel on my entire chest. I want you to take my legs and make them look like I was 20. Okay. Like that's the stuff that I'm going to be doing. And when you do that, you get to do stuff all the time, right? Because you're not just only concentrating on this part. So, I'm four. I also have some suggestion. Face exercise can make a good cheap. Great. There's so much expensive stuff on the cosmetic market. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, there's a lot of different exercises that people do, like the yoga stuff for the face. It's not something that I necessarily do. I like microcurrent. So I keep everything kind of tight with microcurrent. I'll do radio frequency once a week now, and I'm only doing it right here. I'm not going back here where it made me look like Skeletor. I'm only doing it right in this little section and right here. That's where I'm doing radio frequency. I used to do it on my full face, avoiding the cheekbones, but it really, when I look back at the pictures over the last couple of years, it really carved out, which some people love, but it carved out my fat from here, and I started looking like Skeletor, which is not a good look in your 50s, right? Not a good look. We don't want to be too skinny. We don't want to be too anything like that. Christine says, we love you because you're honest. I love that. Thank you. I don't know how else to be. Okay, let me just keep going. I got to get this other section over here. Okay. Try to get right up by my eye. Feg53 says, RF is the massager best for tightening. Radio frequency, I mean, in my opinion, I like ultrasound a little bit better because it doesn't have that potential to melt fat. Radio frequency is heat-based and it bypasses the epidermis, which is that outer layer. And so you don't feel the heat when you're having it done, but it is inside the skin where you don't have those nerve endings. And I just saw this thing about the weighted vest, so hold on. Let me get to that in a second. But yeah, so in terms of lifting the skin, I'm more liking soft wave without a T, SOFWAVE, because it doesn't have that potential to melt skin, and it literally is FDA cleared to tighten. Things like Morpheus 8, which is microneedling and radio frequency mixed together, that always has a potential to melt fat. Anytime that you're doing a heat-based treatment, you have a potential to melt fat. And the reason why I like soft wave for lifting is because it's good for anybody's skin and you don't have that potential. I got to see this thing about the weighted vest. Marissa Self said, Darnell, do you have non-toxic smell weighted vest suggestions? They give me headaches. That is a weird, I've never heard of that. I wonder if you have an allergy to whatever it is that's in there that's making it heavy. So I don't have an answer to that. I've never heard of that before. Yeah. I'm so sorry. I wish I had an answer to that. It makes me think you have an allergy of some sort to something in that material. I don't know if it's the smell, but it could be something in that material, in the weighted thing that you're having a reaction to. I'm trying to think of how you would be able to fix that. Let me give that a little bit of thought. I was going to say there's got to be a way that you can like cover it somehow and then put it on. But yeah, I would maybe take it back and get a different one, to be honest with you. Okay, so I'm still going 5. WJM53, do you know exactly what week you're going to South Korea in April? I do. I'm going April 7th through, I want to say the 17th, something like that, the 7th through the 17th. But that's just me doing recon. That's me going and booking the hotels and booking the spas, booking the treatments, finding the doctors, finding the surgeons for our October Live Young South Korea retreat. So I'm going for 10 days in April, going back for 2 weeks in October with a group of 20 women. I hope you're one of them. If you are interested in that South Korea retreat, where we have surgical options for 1/5 of the price. We've got non-surgical options for 1/5 of the price. We're going to be doing skincare treatments every single day, along with seeing sites and shopping and all of that stuff with a group of 20 women. So if you're interested in that retreat, comment the word retreat, not here, but comment the word retreat on any post that I do, or go to liveyounglifestyle.com, liveyounglifestyle.com, click on the word retreat and sign up, because we have to vet everybody. I'm not taking any crazy people with me to South Korea. We have 20 women. We want to make sure everybody has a good time. So there is a vetting process. There is a wait list. We have not opened it up for sale yet, but it will be opened up for sale prior to me leaving to South Korea. We're offering it to Live Young Method course members first and past retreat goers, and then it's opened up for everybody. So get on that wait list. I cannot stress that enough. Get on the wait list. We're taking 20 women. Yeah, it's going to be a great time. I can't wait. Okay, so let me go back. This. I went this. I got to go this way. Yeah. Okay. One, two. And I'm picking this up each time, you guys. I'm not scrubbing my skin with it. Resist the urge to scrub your skin. Even when you're using a pen like this, resist that urge to scrub your skin. You're not scrubbing, right? So you want to pick this up each time. Sorry, I can't talk while I'm doing this because my face is all weird. Okay, I'm going to take that and put a little, it's a pretty good treatment. Okay, pull this up. Lisa says, what do you think about lasers like Cool Peel, a yearly office visit? Is that like a CO2 laser? I'm going to tell you right now, there's only a certain number of modalities that are used, right? Is it radio frequency? Is it ultrasound? Is it microneedling? Is it a chemical peel? Is it a CO2 ablative laser? What is it? Because every dermatology office will try to come up with their own name. Not everyone, but some try to come up with their own name, and it's still the same type of machine. So for craft's sake said, I'm still not receiving your newsletter, signed it twice already. Let me talk to Janie about that. Tomorrow we've just been so packed with this course that just ended, and the whole microneedling series that we've done. We might have dropped the ball on the newsletter last week. So let me find out, okay? Okay, so hold on. Kimberly says, do you have an estimated base price of the South Korea trip? Yeah, we do. The 14-day, we have got 2 different levels that you can do, depending on if you want surgery, Kimberly. Because if you're getting some sort of surgery, which we're vetting all the surgeons first, we're only going to find the best of the best of the best. But if you're getting some sort of surgery that requires stitches, you need to stay for 14 days because your stitches will come out prior to you going home. Imagine that. You go to South Korea, you have a little nip tuck, little eye, little whatever you want to do. And before you come home, your stitches are out. Your family doesn't have to see you all blown up and swollen like you get to heal with 20 women. It's going to be a great time. But yes, if you're somebody that you decide like, I want to have like a something and you need stitches, you got to go for the 14 days. The 14 days, it includes your room and board, all of the food, all of the outings, transportation to and from the hotel to your appointments, all of your appointments made, pick up to and from hotel, all the excursions, all of that. The only thing it doesn't include is your plane flight and your actual procedures that you're going to get. That 14-day trip is $12,500. There's payment plans. You can actually go on the trip before you pay the whole thing off. When you get a surgery over there, your trip will pay for itself because the surgeries over there are a fifth of the price. For example, you get like, let's say, a SMOS lift. You get a mini facelift with your neck done, upper and lower bleph, lip lift, whatever it is, fat transfer to the things. We had a friend that just went and paid $6,500 for all of that. So it's a fifth of the price. So if you think about it in a healing situation with 20 women, vetted doctors, your trip kind of pays for itself. If you're somebody that does not want to have any sort of surgery, but you're like, I want to go and have a salmon sperm facial. I want to go and have professional microneedling, or I want to go and have a chemical peel or pico laser, or if you're a candidate for ZERP, that trip is an 8-day trip and that's $8,500. Again, it includes everything, including your food, 5-star hotel, options to have a private room for not a lot more. We're not marking those up. So for not a lot more, you can have a private hotel room in a 5-star hotel. So we tried, if you Googled like anybody else who was doing these South Korean trips, we're way underpriced and we like being underpriced. That's where I like to live, a little bit underpriced. That's why my mask is underpriced. This is $395 mask. It's under $200. It's going to stay at that price. I like being underpriced. I don't like the whole sell part of it. So try to find another skincare retreat in South Korea for under that price. You won't find that. Okay. Yeah. So that's the estimate of the price. We do have, I'm going to go to this other side. We do have payment plans available. Like I said, you're only required to put a 20% deposit at first, and then you can pay the rest over time. And like I said, if you're having any sort of surgery, the surgery generally pays for itself based on the price difference. Also, you get the taxes back at the airport. So yeah, you get a surgery, you get your taxes back at the airport in US dollars cash. So this is like, medical tourism at its finest, and we're going to the skincare capital of the world. So it is a way to get multiple types of different treatments that you probably would not be able to afford here, I wouldn't do them here because they're way overpriced. So if you were to take 10 days or 14 days or even the 8 days and like stack different treatments that you can have, your trip pays for itself. So it's kind of, I don't know. I loved the concept of that, of being able to offer, some really amazing things that people have been putting off for a long time. I'm not pro surgery. I'm pro you feeling the best that you possibly can feel. And so for some people that's surgery and for some people that's not. And isn't it nice that we all get to choose? We all get to choose how we age, right? We don't have to follow what everybody else does. And life is short. If you've been thinking about doing something for 10 years, it might be an opportunity for you to do it with somebody you trust is going to find the right people for you. Are there links in your bio for the treatment you're doing right now? There's links in this, in the microneedling document that's for free. I can't find it right now, but it's in here somewhere. That whole microneedling guidebook. I don't know. I'm just gonna do my skin, but that whole microneedling guidebook has links in there to everything it even has a link to this. The products that I just put on, those are going to be in the Ultimate Skincare Routine document. And that, again, you can go to the bio, you'll see free protocols right there. Click on the one that says microneedling, and you'll see the links in there as well. So it has the links to everything that I use, even like the silicone cups that I use, even the Costa Baja hyaluronic acid, all of that is linked in there. Okay. Let me scroll up just a tiny bit just to make sure. I don't know what that means. I got to have a non-snore Darnell. Have I decided what I'm going to have done? I'm not. I'm going to have them analyze my skin first. I might do a pico laser on any sunspots that are left on my arms. I want to ask them about Zerf, although I think that they're using a different body treatment there that's radio frequency. I want to use all the tightening on the body, right? So I'm going to be there for 10 days. I'm going to have a salmon sperm facial for sure. Done. That's given. And then I want to do a whole bunch of stuff to my body. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I don't mean surgery. I'm not going to have any surgery while I'm there this time because I'm on recon. I'm like really trying to book the hotels, book the excursions, find the right restaurants, find the right skincare spas. That's what we're doing this time. Oh, yes, stretch marks. Zoza Sama just asked, is it good for stretch marks? Absolutely. Although for stretch marks, use this. Any type of scars, use this, right? For the big guns, for like your every 4 to 6 weeks, this is the one you want to use. It's the in-between that I'm doing right now. It's the, I want to do stuff in South Korea without exhausting my skin, and I'm ready to microneedle again, but I can't give myself as deep of a treatment because I've got things coming up. This works perfectly for that, for exactly those instances. Okay, I'm gonna go this way. Joanna here says, I want to join in autumn. I want you to as well. It's literally October 7th through the 21st. So the first group of people, those group of people that have decided, I want to have surgery, I need stitches for something, October 7th through the 15th, right? Oh, is that right? October 7th through the 14th. Oh my God, my math. That's the first round of people. So you'll already have been healing for that whole week before the next round of people come and we join. Then we've got 20 women who then do all the other skincare stuff as well and all of the excursions. If you go and you're there on October 7th and you've got your surgery on October 8th, by the time the other group gets there, you will be feeling like you want to get out and do something. Okay, after the roller, we still have to wait 4 to 6 weeks before microneedling? No, you don't. You can wait a couple of weeks. You can even wait a week before microneedling again, before doing this again. So that's why this is a really good in between. I like everyone's feedback before I think that cut off. Yeah, no surgery. So you go for the 8-day. You go for the 8-day. If you don't need stitches, you don't have to go, unless you're like, you know what, I don't want to deal with the jet lag. I want a little extra time in South Korea. You don't have to have surgery to go on the 14-day. And as you noticed, that 14 days is twice as long as 7, and we didn't double the price. So it's it's $12,005 versus $8,005. And again, we spent the money to program it into the website so that there are massive payment options. You do not need to pay for this whole thing before you go. But there's plenty of stuff to do without surgery, right? Think about it. Chemical peels, you could do professional microneedling while you're there. You could do a Zerf, you could do a Pico. There's lots of different stuff that you can do there without doing any of the surgical routes that will still take years off of your skin, years. So it's more, when we did the retreat in Malibu, it was more of the inside out. You know, we had skincare labs, and I taught skincare while I was there, but we also taught about sleep and stress and exercise and diet and all of that stuff. All the stuff that makes you live longer. And we spent a small amount of time on the stuff that makes you look better, right? Even though I know nothing shines as bright as optimal health. If you're super healthy, no skincare gadget is going to help your skin, right? As much as really internal optimal health, sleeping well, eating well, vitamins, water, all of the stuff, right? Stress reduction, blah, blah, blah. But this South Korea trip, is very skincare heavy. We're still going to work out, Kimberly, don't worry. We're going to get our workouts in. We're going to talk about diet. We're going to talk about all of that stuff. But every day we're going to be going in for skincare. You're going to be learning a lot about your skin and which products will work best with your skin, what your actual true concerns are. Because I think a lot of times when people look at themselves in the mirror, what they see is different than what everybody else sees. So you might look at yourself in the mirror and go like, I don't like this, or I don't like that. And when I look at a client and they say, what do you think I should do? My suggestions might be completely different. And I don't want to get into detail about that because I just had a client that I'll give anybody a 15-minute phone call if they're interested in the retreat, if you want to know more, but you've got to get on that wait list first to even book that phone call. But I did have somebody recently that I just got on the phone call with that is coming to the 14 days. She's going to have surgery. She's coming to the 14 day. And what she wanted to do to her face was like not what I would suggest at all. And after having her do a few, like lift this up, pull this back, see what, she's completely changed her surgical route. And that's going to happen too when you speak to the actual doctors. They might say, you're not a candidate for that. I know you want this, but that's not going to look good. Why don't you do this instead? This is what's going to really create a more youthful face. And a lot of times we get focused on these things that are not really the thing that's aging our face. And that's something that I give a lot of feedback on that. Feg53 said, I'd like everyone's feedback before I decide. You will have my feedback. You will have the surgeon's feedback. We will discuss it all. Would you recommend Cure's microinfusion for microneedling? Absolutely not. I don't like it. I've actually tried it. They sent it to me for free. I'm like, what? No, you're not trying to push product in. It is the needles themselves that is doing the work. Don't try to push product in unless you're doing that in office. No, it's October 7th through the 14th is the first leg of it. At 14th through the 21st, that's the second leg. So if you're going for the 2 week, you're the 7th through the 21st. If you're going for the second leg of it, the 8 day, you're the 14th through the 21st. October. It's a perfect time in South Korea because the weather is not cold, but it's not stifling hot. You go in the summer, it's very humid and difficult. You do not want to be healing when it's humid. You want to be healing when it's a little bit cooler outside. Not cold, but cool. And that is like the perfect time in October. Okay, hold on. I'm going to keep going here. Keep going. Just keep going. See how I just scrubbed? Avoid scrubbing. You don't want to scrub. You want to lift up. 1, 2. Yeah, you want to lift up. I know I do it myself sometimes. It's easy to like forget. And you're like, I've been doing this forever. I'm just going to, but it's really better for your skin and you're going to get a better result. Go right over your eyebrows, you guys. Right over the top of your eyebrows. It will help eyebrow hair to grow. Woo! Okay, I think I got this. Oh, it feels like I need to get this side a little bit more. What do you think of new eye color changing? Do you feel it's safe? I've never heard of somebody changing their eye color besides like a contact color that you would stick on there. I don't know. How do they do that? How do they do that? Please explain. If it's not just a contact, I would always be afraid that your eye color would get stuck like that. I don't know. Somebody explain that to me. Okay. Oh, sorry, my nose is running. Okay, I'm gonna put this Metacube on here. Again, this is linked on the Ultimate Skincare Routine. You'll see sometimes people do this, right? Don't do that. Don't touch this to your skin. Because if you touch this to your skin and you put it back in here, you're growing shit in here, right? So you always want to put it into your hand. Or if you're going to do this, don't drape it across, like, give it some height. Don't run it across your cheek and then stick it back into that bottle. Your cheek cells, skin cells are on there that are now going to be contaminating and growing shit inside your serum. Don't do it. But I see it all the time on social media. It's like just this, I'm not going to touch it, okay? But it's like this, Oh, here's this from this. And I think like, God, it's a petri dish in there. Okay. Okay, I'm going to do my chin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can go right over your lips. I get that question a lot. Can I do on my lips on the top? I have a little bit of lipstick on right now, so I'm not going to do my lips. I might wipe all that off later and then do a little bit on my lips before I put on my mask, but I'm not going to do that right now. I've had some textural changes here. Has that happened to anybody else out there during menopause? You get like these, like a little bit of a textural orange peely look around the chin area, which is hormonal. But microneedling, I swear, has really helped that whole thing. Oh yeah, shell, neck, chest, arm, anywhere I have skin. I do my ass, I do the back of my arms, I do my hands, I do my forearms, neck, chest, abdomen, knees. I did my whole legs the other day. So anywhere where you have skin, it biohacks your skin because it's creating the trauma that calls on your body to come to the rescue to produce that collagen and elastin. That is the whole concept of microneedling. It is not to push shit into your skin. It's not to get the product deeper. It is you are creating these controlled little micro traumas that then call on your body to produce collagen and elastin. That's it. I started getting rosacea, never had it before. You started getting rosacea now or after you've been microneedling? I have a little bit of rosacea. It doesn't necessarily, microneedling doesn't make my rosacea worse. It makes everything else better, but it doesn't make my rosacea any worse. So I wanted to see if you started getting rosacea because you've been microneedling. And if so, are you microneedling too deep? What kind of skin do you have? Is your skin fragile? Does it get like broken capillaries easily? Still waiting, WJM53, still waiting on my Korean skincare. Was loaded from Hong Kong yesterday. I'm telling you, South Korea has got their shit together when it comes to skincare. It's the best stuff on the market right now for like a fraction of the price, right? Why? Because in South Korea, they want skincare to be accessible to everybody. It's not just for the rich and famous. So all of the South Korean skincare products are priced very reasonably. At 47, okay, so Matt says at 47, and no, I don't think so, get broken capillaries. Okay, I think I missed something there. So let me get this straight, Matt. 47, you don't think you had rosacea before and you don't get broken capillaries, but your rosacea is now taking off a little bit more. Is that, tell me. And Matt says, I'm going to Japan. I'm sure that's not your name, Matt. You might be a woman. I don't know. I'm going to Japan. Do they have it there less expensive? Skincare in Japan is also great. And I'm sure the Japanese also have Korean skincare lines there. But yeah, you're going to get it cheaper in Japan than you would. You're going to get Japanese skincare cheaper in Japan than you would here. That just makes sense. I would imagine you're going to get Korean skincare. It's already so affordable. It's ridiculous. One of our days in South Korea is going to be literally skincare shopping. So we will get our skincare for the year. Check expiration dates, make sure we're bringing home good stuff. But yes, due to menopause. So rosacea, anything like that, skin changes, that's very common in menopause. I didn't start getting rosacea until I was like almost 40. So it is changes in hormones and all of that. All of it affects your skin. Okay, I'm gonna go this way. We're going to go diagonal and then diagonal. They've got good hair too. They do. And there's this whole thing that we're going to do in South Korea where you go in for like a hair spa where they get all the gunk out of your hair. They do just these amazing things for hair as well. So we're going to be we're going to be visiting some of those places as well. Use your mask helps. Yeah. If you've got rosacea, green light, red, yes, red and near infrared. Those are the standard. Green light also, it helps to calm down those sebaceous glands, and rosacea is an overactivity of those sebaceous glands. So I like to use, by Paula's Choice, they have a 2% BHA, which is a great toner to use, which also helps with those sebaceous glands. But green light, super important. Just got peptide. So Marissa said, just got peptide serum, and thanks to you, I know to not layer it with the vitamin C, only THD. Yes. So imagine the money that you were throwing down the toilet by putting on a product that you thought was doing something, but then you put it on after a L-ascorbic vitamin C. This is too strong of an acidity and neutralizes the peptide. It literally makes it ineffective. We're going to go over that next week when we talk about the ultimate skincare routine, and I'm going to break it down to morning and night. Yeah, big difference. Big difference. Okay. One, two, three, four, five. I need to get this jowl. And then we're going to go diagonal. Sandy, there's a whole microneedling series that I did that's on my feed right now. My Saturday lives always go, I post them to my feed, even though they're an hour long. My Sunday lives, normally I would post them to my Instagram club. That's the $4.99 club. And I believe that that's where this one is going. I don't think I have a thumbnail or anything for this one. So this one's probably going to be in that club. But that's $4.99. Get in there, look at all of those videos, get your microneedling tools, learn how to do it, and then unsubscribe for the club. That's what I tell everybody. Like, it's just a way for me to collect all of those videos in one spot where I'm not getting flagged on Instagram. Matt says, I learn something new every time. I love that. Thank you so much. Okay, I'm so glad. Okay, I'm about to finish up here on the chin. Oh. Okay. Woo, putting on, what did I just do with that? Here, put on a little bit of this. Again, I'm doing this after. This is not medical grade. It's not sterile. So putting it on after microneedling is a lot safer than trying to push a non-sterile, non-medical peptide into your skin. Okay? You don't want to do that. I need to do the upper lip. I need to do the nose. And then that's it. Cannot using hyaluronic acid after you use it for a while make your skin dry, like withdrawal or something. Hyaluronic acid is a humectant, so it's going to draw moisture anywhere that it can grab it. Sometimes if you're in a very, very dry environment, it's going to grab moisture from your skin. And so using a pure hyaluronic acid on its own is not a good idea, in my opinion. Because it does have that tendency to get all dry and flaky. But layering it or putting it on as you're microneedling and then putting a heavy healing cream like an Aquaphor over the top is a great way to use it, because it creates like this film on the skin, especially if you're kind of going back and forth with like this and a little spritz of water. It creates like this translucent film on the skin that blocks out any exterior pollutants or air or anything like that. And that really gives your skin a good chance to heal without being irritated by things. So I like using this post with this when I'm doing like the more professional thing. But yeah, you're absolutely correct. It's not about you haven't used it in a while. It could change with the environment. It could change with the moisture that's in your skin. It is a humectant, so it will try to draw things, and it could get very dry and flaky on the outside. So you kind of want to sandwich a hyaluronic acid with other ingredients, if that makes sense. Okay, I'm going to do my upper lip. We need a workout routine series. Your arms are the best. I'll work on that. I've got a lot of plates that are spinning. I appreciate that compliment. But I do have some workout routines on YouTube. They're my 10-minute workout series. I have a whole series on YouTube for that. I do have 10 yoga posture labs. I do have a couple workouts with my trainer, Rob. And let me see if I can repackage those and get those out to you. WJM says, do you have a name of a hotel where you'll be staying? No, we've got a list of hotels that we're going to be going to that are 5-star hotels to be vetting. So we're staying in a place that's like more like an Airbnb, Jenny and I, while we're doing our recon mission, but we're looking for 5-star hotels, and we've got like a whole list of things that we need to go check out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh. Ooh, it hurts on that top lip. I'm not going to lie. What about 6? I don't know. I think that there is a typo there. I don't know if it's 6 petite skink booster brand cord. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. I'm either misreading that or something. Here we go. Diagonal, and we're done. We'll do the nose. Again, this does not take the place of an every 4 to 6 weeks of a professional pen, but it does help to give you that little boost in between microneedling sessions. So if I were only doing a roller and I wasn't doing anything else, I'm only doing a roller, that's it. There's no way I'm ever going to use this. You could do this a couple of times a week because it's not as intensive a treatment. Now, I don't think I would do it a couple times a week, but you could do it every single week if you used a roller. The dollar seems more painful. The roller to me is slightly more painful. And I think it's because when it rolls over I'm sterile, you guys, but when it rolls over your skin, it's still creating a tiny bit of that tear of the skin. They're not needles that are going straight down, right? It's like as if you're moving the device on your skin when the needles are going in and out. Rolling the device on your skin, you're still getting that initial dig in and then the initial come out. So the perforations aren't going to be exactly straight up and down. And you're right, sometimes this hurts me more than this. It's strange, but it's true. Okay, I'm going to do the nose. Picking it up, just 5 swipes. Pull it to the side. Why? Because microneedling helps with pores. It does. It helps to diminish pores. It helps to exfoliate. So if you have enlarged pores around your nose, you're going to want to get to those. So move your anatomy around, right? If you can, and get into those cracks. Go on this side. Christine says, for the roller feels more painful than the pen for me too. I don't know what it is, but it's not going to give you as, Christine, from healing, it does not give you as deep or as intense of a treatment. You will heal so much quicker. Christine said, I've got to press my teeth together sometimes. Kimberly says, as a single 47-year-old, I love the idea of the South Korea trip with a group of other women. Getting low-cost skincare treatments is just the cherry on top. That is absolutely right. You will make lifelong friends, you guys. From the first Live Young retreat, those women are still in contact with each other. So it is a great way to do something that could potentially be a little bit scary. I've lived in Asia for 6 years. I've traveled the world. Like travel is it doesn't scare me. I actually love it. And although I've never been to South Korea, I lived in Singapore, I lived in Shanghai, like I have traveled all over Asia. Getting to do this, the anticipation of like coming back from a retreat looking better than when you went, I think is really enticing. I think not having your family there while you're healing and you get to heal with these amazing group of women, which we are vetting, so there's not going to be anybody cuckoo, is is something that is beyond. It's like next level. Can you provide the benefits, please, of this, of the microneedling? Oh my God. Is that what you're asking for? So many benefits. Fine lines and wrinkles, enlarged pores, discoloration, scars, acne scars, stretch marks, more even skin tone, collagen stimulation, elastin stimulation, tightening of the skin. I mean, it is my number one. I have two favorite biohacking tools. It's not this one, but it's the concept of microneedling. It's a microneedling professional pen with some rolling in between. So it's the concept of microneedling and of a multi-spectrum LED light, not just red and near infrared, but red, near infrared, blue, cyan, violet, green, amber. There is benefits to multiple different spectrums of light, not just the typical what you would see, which would be the red. So out of everything that I do, those are the two things done consistently that have changed my skin. Christine said, I've never tried a numbing cream. I do not like numbing creams. Here's why. You know when to stop when you're not using numbing cream. If you're using numbing cream, you're just like, I'm going to go freaking ham on my skin. I know, because I've done it myself. But when you're not using numbing cream, it's like, okay, you're only going to go so deep. You're only going to do so much. But also when you put on the numbing cream, it blanches the skin. What I mean by that is when it blanches the skin is it whitens the skin a little bit, which doesn't give you the reaction that you're going to want to see to know if you've covered the area evenly. Does that make sense? By the numbing cream blanching the skin, you're not going to be as reactive, so you're going to miss those parts of your face that you missed. In addition, you now have to wipe off the numbing cream. You've got to disinfect everything again before you start your microneedling treatment. It doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't hurt as bad as you think. I'm going to do my neck too. Do you have gray hair at all? I have no gray hair. I'm struggling at the age to let my hair go gray. 62 here. I don't want to age. Everybody's going to age. We don't have control over that. It's looking like we're aging, that we can have some little control over that part, right? Aging is inevitable. And I think the goal, at least my goal, is to one day be a wrinkly old woman. You're not gonna, if you are looking to do this to fight every single wrinkle on your face, you are going to be fighting a losing battle, because age is inevitable. We can do these things to biohack our skin, but I'm not gonna look like this at 90. I wouldn't wanna look like this at 90, right? But am I still gonna be microneedling my skin, trying to make it as healthy as possible, as younger functioning as possible, to bring back the function of that skin and the skin health? That is the goal for me. The outside part falls in line, right? Because if you're increasing the health of your skin, you're going to improve the look of your skin. And so you do that with things like red light therapy to increase circulation, with microneedling to create the trauma, to boost the collagen. You do that with effective skincare. I love all of this stuff. It doesn't mean that I'm afraid of aging or I'm afraid of looking older. That's going to happen. I think to me, it's more about how can I look my absolute best for the age I am right now. And I'll be 58 in a couple of weeks, less than a couple of weeks. And I feel good about being 58. Why? Because I feel great. My body feels great. My skin is healthy. Like, I'm healthy. Like, that's fine for me then to age. But if I stopped taking care of myself and started going to sleep with all my makeup on and not doing these kind of things, I wouldn't feel so great about that extra candle on the birthday cake, right? But when I'm doing things to really prioritize my health, the health of my insides, which shine outward, the health of my outsides, which make me feel better, then I feel like that's aging well. That is taking aging into a little bit of my control, right? Because it's not like the earth stops going around the sun. that year is still gonna happen. But can you have younger looking skin this year than you did last year? Absolutely. I see it in my clients all the time. You can biohack your skin and reverse age your skin, just like you can improve your cardiovascular health. Or if you've got osteopenia and you're having that bone density issue, you can grow back new bone. You can also increase the function of your skin. You can create younger functioning skin by biohacking it. And the best way that I feel like I do that at home is through microneedling. Microneedling and a multi-spectrum mask. If you only had 2 things at home and you did them consistently, I mean, every day, depending on what you're trying to treat. Like I do red, near infrared, and green every single day. Those are mine because the green light, it literally will target hyperpigmentation and calm down the melanocytes that produce the melanin. So it helps to suppress that hyperpigmentation, which is a sign of aging as we get older in our skin. So using a multi-spectrum mask every single day and consistently microneedling at home every 4 to 6 weeks. Then we talk about skincare next week. It's those 3 things: effective skincare, microneedling consistently, and a multi-spectrum mask. That is all you need to biohack your skin. And I promise you, because I've seen it in so many of my clients, you can have younger looking skin next year than you do right now. But it takes a little bit of work. It takes a little bit of consistency. It doesn't take all day. It takes a strategic plan and it takes consistency. And that's what I'm here to help you guys with. Okay, so I'm going to get off of here. I might post this to my main feed. We'll see. I'm going to see how long it takes me to get off of here and actually put on my mask and do my things and write my caption. But I'll try. If not, it's going to go into that subscription club. And then all of the next ones off here. I know next week I'm doing the morning skincare routine and the evening skincare routine, and both of those will go to the main feed. But after that, every Sunday when you see me microneedling, those are going to start going into that Instagram club from now on, just because I don't get flagged. I just did this entire microneedling series. Look at my feed. You'll see that like there's 3 or 4 rows all about microneedling. So go back and look at those. Share them with friends that you know want to microneedle at home. You're right for sure, health. And yeah. I have your mask too. Can I use that light every day? Every single day. Every day you use red light therapy or a multi-spectrum mask, depending on which wavelength is treating your particular symptoms. But it's very easy to do, to be consistent with that, if you just strategically lay it out where you want to use it, right? So I have a mask down by on my couch, draped over the couch where I watch TV. Why? Because at night when I watch TV, I'm doing red, near infrared, green. And it's like right there. I'm like literally sitting there on the couch and it's draped there. It's like calling to me, put me on, put me on, put me on. Right? Don't hide your stuff. Lay it all out so you almost trip over it. That's how you get stuff you can make those habits. Okay. I think that's it. Okay. I'm so glad, Phyllis, that you enjoy these. Have a great day. Thank you for everything. We'll use it every day. Amazing. And my collagen and red light. Okay, everybody. Have a great rest of your day. I am going to see my dad and my mom tomorrow, so I'm very excited about that. I need to go make the rounds before I head to South Korea. Yeah. Okay, everybody. Have a great rest of your day. I'll see you next week.